The reintegration lady is back and shit is about to happen. Hello, my name is Joe. I review TV shows and movies on this channel. I've recently created a Patreon to review more TV shows and movies over there. Welcome, not to the family, but to the place for delusional, completely insane theories that sometimes come true. Before anything else, I need to talk about Milkshake. Listen, I know his name is Milkshake, but no. It's Milkshake from now on, and I need to talk about him because I think they lost him. I think they've completely lost this man because his face when he was looking at the black face on Kier's face was insane. Even Natalie was looking at him thinking, oh, did we go too far? Because what do you mean? This company's idea of representation is to do blackface? First of all, I really like the implications of this. I like the idea that the show is criticizing the DNY campaigns that companies have, and kind of saying, yeah, all of these diversity and inclusion programs and campaigns and whatever are usually just bullshit. And I mean, I immediately thought of all those university posters and publicity stuff that has like white students and black students, and then the white student is like with their arm around the black student but not touching them. That's what I thought of. And honestly, really smart of Severance, to be honest. But yeah, I think that anyone who saw his face while he was looking at this art realized that Milkshake is gone. Like, they've lost him. I wouldn't be surprised, and this is going to be one of my delusional theories for this season. By the end of the season, Milkshake will be aligning himself with the rebellion, with the rebellious people inside the severed floor, and he will be fighting against Lumen. I think this blackface was like the beginning of the end for Milkshake's loyalty to Severance. And I don't even know, not Severance, to Lumen. I don't even know why he's so loyal. I don't know if he actually is like a believer of the cult ideology, or if he's just taking advantage of a good position and making good money. But I feel like those pictures were like, because even when he put them away at the end of the episode, this was kind of paralleling that scene in season 1 when Mark takes the pictures, like replaces the pictures with the new photos with Hellie, and then he hides the old ones like in the cupboard, the same way that Milkshake just hid these like art paintings in the cupboard. And I think the symbolism behind it is really because, like in season 1, in this episode, he puts it like at the very bottom, like the most hidden part of the cupboard, because he never wants to see it again, but it's like it's in the back of his mind, and it's always going to be there because he's always going to remember this and remember how little they really care about him. Because if they actually cared about him, if they actually cared about seeing him represented in Lumen leadership, they would give him a position in Lumen leadership. But they don't, because he's just a puppet like everyone else. And he's starting to realize this. They don't actually care about me. I'm not actually different from all the severed employees. I'm just one more employee. I'm just one more number. I am just a lamb. Is it lambs? Sheep? Goat. I am just another goat. And I will get to that. And in the same way that Mark put it in the cupboard, he put it in the cupboard, but it's in the back of his mind and it's going to come back to haunt him throughout the whole season. And that's what I wanted to say about this. Now let's really quickly address Cobel. I don't know what the hell is going on in this woman's mind. I have no idea what she's thinking. I'm pretty sure she is indoctrinated into the cult, and she has to be indoctrinated into the cult, right? And she even said that sentence to Helena, I don't know what her name is, that she had to work really hard for her position because she wasn't born into it. And she was ready to go again with her, but then she saw the bodyguard and she stepped away again. And like, this is what I think is happening. Those bodyguards are severed permanently. They're just like meat bags, basically, protecting the Kier family around. And she saw him and she realized or remembered what they are going to do to her, because if she ever goes back there, she's not getting a position back. She's not getting anything back. She's going to be permanently severed, and she knows it. What I don't understand is, why does she keep coming back there? Like, what is there that she needs that she keeps coming back? Is it just that she's so indoctrinated by their cultish ideology? Is it just that she's so in deep that that's her entire life and she doesn't know how to leave it behind? I don't understand why she keeps coming back, because she knows she will be permanently severed. She knows. Anyway, any theories? I think someone mentioned in one of my videos, maybe the first one I did, that maybe she lost someone, or someone that she lost is inside the severed floor the same way that Gemma is inside the severed floor. So that might be why she's coming back, because maybe she has like a daughter, a husband, a sister, a brother, someone that she loves might be inside the severed floor, and that's why she keeps coming back. And if that's true, if that's true, I really hope that by the end of season 2, we have a Mark S., his sister, the reintegration doctor, Cobel, and Milkshake all uniting against Lumen. That would be so cool. Anyway, this is just a delusional theory. But yeah, I'm just curious about what her motivation is. Because we saw as well at the end of the episode that Mark, as soon as he knew for sure that Gemma was alive, was like, okay, let's do it. I'll do anything. So what tells us that Cobel isn't doing the same thing? What tells us that Cobel isn't doing all of these ridiculous things and be so extremely loyal to Lumen because she has someone inside there and she knows they are inside there? Okay, my third point, that is not Hellie. Like, I thought it wasn't her in the first episode. I had like a hint that it wasn't her, but now we know it's not Hellie. There is no way, because you see, I don't know where, I think it was a comment. I think someone commented on my video saying like, yeah, these people, like the Lumen INI employees, are basically children because they just have those few hours of life. They haven't been alive for that long, so they are basically children in their like developmental stage or whatever. And when Mark S. and Hellie were again alone together in the corridor, Mark S. was super excited. Like, he wanted to kiss her. He wanted to kiss her and he wanted to like talk to her, flirt with her, whatever. And Helena, just looked at him as if he was like a cute little kid with a crush on her. That's how she looked at him. And then when they were searching for the goats and they went through the little corridor and he warned her of the poo, the way that she reacted was like, yeah, I know. Marquez, I'm not Hellie, I'm Helena, I know. You cannot convince me that is Hellie. That is not Hellie. There's no way. There is absolutely no way that is Hellie. And at times, it really just looks like she's mocking him. Like, she knows more than he does. She's just going along on the ride to see what he gets up to. And she's basically their spy. And where is this going to become dangerous? This is going to become dangerous because, well, jumping to the end of the episode, Mark, well, he was trying to do something silly, like marking a message on his, what was it? Eyelids? Not eyelids. In his retina? Whatever. It was really funny that they mentioned that idea that desperate people will look for advice online and then actually do it. Which is really funny. But he meets the reintegration doctor again, which, thank you for bringing me the reintegration lady, because I missed her and I love her more than any other character at this point, to be honest. Maybe not more than Mark's sister, but yeah, that's where we're at. Mark's sister, reintegration lady. Everyone else. But he meets her again and he's not having it. Like, he doesn't care about this lady. But then this lady is like, I saw your wife. I saw your wife alive. I saw your wife alive inside Lumen. And Mark is immediately like, okay, reintegrate me. I want to see her. I want to see her reintegrate me. And that is the end of the episode, which is actually pretty brilliant because not only is Mark being reintegrated and having his memories fused together, so he's experiencing everything for the first time as the outside Mark, but we have this reference to the intro where he's lying on the bed and then he wakes up with his legs spread out. That's the intro. So it's a reference to the intro. And, well, I said it in my previous video that from the images of the intro, it was quite apparent that eventually he was going to become reintegrated. I didn't think it was going to be so soon in the season, but I'm very happy that it happened. And yeah, I'm so curious what Cobel's role in all of this is. I cannot wait for the end of the season. But yeah, he's reintegrated. He's going to go into the office as both of his personas. And I think that Hellie, not being Hellie, being Helena, I think she's going to figure it out. And that's going to be like the source of the next conflict inside of the Lumen severed floor. Is going to be Mark trying not to let Hellie, who is Helena, figure out that he's reintegrated. I can't wait. Let's talk about Arving and Arving's painting. First of all, I'm so happy that every single character in this season and in this episode has something going on. Like, they have their individual journeys that contribute not only to the plot, but to our knowledge of the Lumen company and the severed floor. Love it. Love that they all have journeys. Love that they all are like very separate characters, very different from each other, and have like different wants and opinions and desires and journeys. Loving it. But Arving and his drawing. We finally find a little bit more of what it is, and we find it from the lady from the paintings section. I'm sorry I don't remember the names of anything or anyone, but you know who I mean. The old lady from the painting section. The old lady that knew Bert. She says it's the exports hall, and that they still send paintings there, and they used to go there themselves. And now someone comes and picks it up and sends it to the exports hall. There's a lot of information here. It doesn't look like it, but there is a lot of information here. First of all, what happened that they no longer are allowed to go to the exports hall? Second, why is it called the exports hall? Clearly they are sending stuff to other places. I mean, Lumen apparently is a company that produces anything and everything, right? Sorry guys, I had to stop a little bit there because I had a yawning attack. Sometimes when I spend too much time without eating, I have that thing where I have anxiety about eating. When I spend too much time like eating very little, my body starts yawning and stops me from talking until I eat. So I had to take a break and go eat. But I'm back. What was I talking about? I was talking about the goddamn exports hall, where they used to take paintings there, but now they don't anymore because clearly something happened, and where, well, they clearly export stuff. And I was saying that Lumen is a company that does everything, that produces everything and anything, right? This is what I imagine Lumen is, right? Kind of like Amazon, they do everything and anything, and they're taking over the world. So why was Gemma going there? Number one is what happened that the paintings people can't go there anymore. Number two is why was Gemma going there? And number three is why is this exports hall in Arving's memory? Could Arving possibly have been to the exports hall before? Because maybe he had a different role at Lumen before and they didn't need him anymore, so he went to the exports hall to be reprogrammed into being a macro data refiner. Is that what they're doing to Gemma? Reprogramming her to have a different role in the company? Yes. There's no other explanation. Arving had a different role in the company before. He went to the exports hall because he was being reprogrammed to go to macro data refinement. The people who were in macro data refinement before Arving are probably the ones who reprogrammed him. What other explanation is there? Why would Arving be going there? Unless... Could Arving have been part of the paintings people before? And he went to the exports hall before because he was the one who was taking the stuff to the exports hall, and something happened and then they didn't allow them to go there anymore, and they erased everyone's memories, and they erased Arving's memory, and he moved them from the paintings people to the macro data refinement people. Could it? Maybe that's why Bert and Arving had such an immediate connection, because they knew each other before then. Yeah, there are a lot of holes in this delusional theory, but I'm sticking with it. For some reason, Arving has been to the exports hall before, and he doesn't remember when, and his outie and his innie both don't remember when, so he must have had a different role before he worked in MDR. And I mean, Cobel knows about Project Cold Harbor, which we know is Gemma, which we know Mark is the one working on Project Cold Harbor or Cold Harbor file. And it has to have something to do with the fact that he knew her, he loved her, he was her partner, because they are dealing with emotions in these files. That's what he's doing, he's reprogramming her for a different role in the company. Before we address the goats, I just need to point out, what the hell is Natalie doing there? Is she really going to propose creating a book, a kind of motivational book for Lumen employees? What the hell is going on in that woman's brain? Anyway, to the goats. Listen, was I expecting to see all of that? No. Was I very much confused by most of it? Yes. First of all, the fact that there's an office desk and a vending machine on the lawn. That was so funny. That was great. Really funny. But the biggest thing that I noticed in this entire scene with the goats was the fact that the humans were being treated like livestock more than the goats were. Because Mark S. and Helena crawl through the goat hole to get to the goat heaven, basically. When the boss lady of the goats rings the bell, she isn't calling the cattle, she isn't calling the goats, she's calling her people with a cattle bell. And isn't this just a beautiful metaphor? Because at Lumen, employees equal numbers. Employees equal cattle. Employees equal livestock. And I've heard people saying that the goats are there because they're part of some experiment with cloning, and that's why they need them. And maybe that's why the other guy was crying in season 1, because he was like, no, they're not ready to be used as experiments for cloning experiments, research studies. But to me, I'm a lot more interested in what the goats and the goat scene and the goats team symbolize for the overall metaphor that is this entire show than the actual possibilities of cloning, because it really feels like that. Like the employees at Lumen really feel like livestock. I mean, their brains are literally being reprogrammed and programmed for doing this job. They have their memories erased for doing this job. Doesn't it feel a lot like they are the livestock, like they are the goats to Lumen leadership? And in this goat scene, we see something really nice, actually. We see, once again, the myths between different departments taking place, because they ask them to see their bellies. Because apparently they think that they have pouches in their bellies, maybe like kangaroos, right? And I'm sure this is just one of those myths about different departments that have grown in certain departments within Lumen. And it's really like nice and wonderful to see them rile up together and test these myths and be like really open about it, because Mark S. and Hellie just pull up their shirts and are like, here, look at my belly. And they realize, oh, there are no pouches there. Maybe they aren't like devils. Maybe they aren't like little creatures. And seeing those myths between departments to solve and seeing them collaborate. And it's so sweet to see them like unite over the fact that they all like Gemma, that even without her memories, even with all of that stuff erased, Gemma was probably just a nice, genuinely good person on the outside, to the point that it carried to her inside persona, her Ini, and made people like her because she was just nice, even in her role as well-being manager, whatever. I really enjoy that. I enjoyed seeing them unify. I enjoyed seeing them breaking myths together. I enjoyed seeing them laugh together. And I'm just excited about what's going to happen with the revolution that is brewing inside Lumen's severed floor. Yeah. Okay. Predictions for next episode. Mark is going to be a mess coming into the office reintegrated. Helena is definitely going to notice. They will probably make headway with finding out or discovering what the exports hall really is. Maybe Mark will finish the Cold Harbor file and we will see where Gemma is off to. And I hope we see Milkshake kind of showing signs of bending against Lumen. That's my big prediction for this season. This and the emotion stuff. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, what's his goddamn name? Riley? I'm gonna call him Riley, whether he's his name or not. Did I ever think they were actually going to arrange for a visit with his real life wife? No, I thought it was going to be like images, like the first thing we saw, but no, the woman was actually there. Man, poor Riley. Because now they got him. They're going to be able to force him to work as much as they want because they got him. They got what he wants. And he's going to be the walker. If you watched Silo with me, you know what I'm talking about. He's going to be the walker of the severed floor because he's going to be the spy. They have him. They have him under their little fingers. I don't know if this is an expression in English, but they have him. And whenever things turn bad and they rile up against Lumen, they are going to use Riley, or whatever his name is, as a spy, as like an infiltrated agent, because they have him. And now he wants more encounters with his wife. That was a very smart play from their part. That was a very smart play. I'll give Lumen that. Putting Helena there and making Riley a spy. I know he's not a spy yet, but come on. Come on. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I was very surprised by the fact that his wife had a job. Like, his wife, I think he's a security guard or something. Wow. Because, I mean, the idea behind it is that they are two adults with 3 children and they both need to work to be able to afford like a decent life for their children. And they don't even have money for a nanny so that she can have a day job or something. They don't even have money for someone to take care of their kids so they can both work. because she's working when he's there and he's working when she's there. Like, the implication of this, the fact that Lumen is taking advantage of a person who doesn't have a lot of means and who never fits into the world. Because this is what I was wondering. If he didn't lose anyone, if there's no grief for them to manipulate, how are they getting him there? And they chose a person who is vulnerable in the world because he has responsibilities, he has a family to take care of, and he never found his place in the world. That's how they got him. I'm very happy that we had the answer to this. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this episode. I hope you did too. And comment your delusional theories and what you think of mine, if you agree, disagree, all that stuff. And I'll see you next week for another great episode, because I have good expectations for this show. Not good, high expectations. My English has been getting worse. How is that possible? Anyway. See you Tuesday, I think. Bye. Ooh, I have a fun video for Tuesday, guys. You're gonna like it.